Hello everyone, welcome to the latest edition of Nathbet. Sorry it looks a little bit weird, the setup this afternoon. That's because I am currently in a hotel room ready to board a flight to New York later on this afternoon, probably in about a couple of hours actually. So looking forward to that, but that doesn't mean to say that we will not be producing and winning at Nathbet this week. We always win at Nathbet, don't we? Another 9-1 treble. Absolutely fantastic news. Congratulations if you backed the treble last week. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful profits. I know a lot of you tweeting in, showing us your bet receipts. Please show us your bets. Please show us your winnings. We absolutely love to see it here on Nathbet. We love to favourite it, retweet it, and make sure that we share it with our Twitter community. Actually very, very close to a clean sweep again, wasn't it, guys? Just the draw in the Spurs game let us down on the fourfold. It's only one goal away, and obviously with Adebayor missing that penalty as well, quite frustrating, but that's how it goes. Really only, 2 games that cost us the clean sweep, but a 9-1 treble is absolutely fantastic news. And just basically, well, it's basically what we've been doing all season, isn't it? Just big results. Profit, I think, 85% of the time. So it's absolutely great news. I said that it was a good week last week, and it was, and it proved to be. This week is more difficult, but that means to say that there is plenty of value there. I've played about, it's taken me a little bit longer this week due to the fact that obviously the midweek games, and obviously there's a lot of teams who are kind of like, appear to be on holiday at the moment with some of the play, some different results. I mean, you just show how difficult it was last night with Manchester City drawing with Sunderland and Crystal Palace beating Everton at home. So the games are difficult to predict, especially this time of the year when people have got one eye, like I say, on summer beaches and another eye on the World Cup and relegation, promotion, mid-table mediocrity. It is difficult to kind of like get a gauge of results and performances and form tables than I did earlier on in the season. However, I think we've got some good prices this week, some nice big prices actually. And first of all, we're going to go straight on with the double then, guys. And the first bet of the week is my boys. The boys, Middlesbrough, absolutely huge upturn in fortunes. They finished this season very, very strongly indeed. Back-to-back wins, or 4 wins on the bounce actually, against Burnley. Big win last weekend. Derby, Blackpool, Brighton. Massive wins really, 4 on the bounce. And if they hadn't had that horrific start to the year really under Tony Mowbray, then they should have been easily in the playoffs, if not pushing for an automatic promotion. However, they've got a little sniff with 4 games to go of making that playoff spot, and that's why I think a home game against Millwall, when they have won 4 games on the bounce, including going to second place Burnley and winning, I do feel that even money is a huge price, to beat Millwall at the Riverside. Yes, Millwall only 1 point off relegation themselves. Obviously, Ian Holloway will have his team fired up. However, quality over just basically, sheer determination, I think, on this occasion. There are even money, massive price about Middlesbrough, so we're going to put them in the double this week. Even money, Middlesbrough, double them up with Blackburn Rovers against Yeovil. Blackburn score goals for fun at home, and recently the defence has been slightly better. Yeovil 1 place off, well, they are bottom of the Championship, and yes, they can get out of it still. There is a little bit of time, but like I say, Ewood Park, 3 wins out of their last 6 at Ewood Park, only 1 defeat, and I do think that Blackpool will be too much for them. They're 4-6 to beat Yeovil. Now, one thing that I haven't said, and it's very, very important, I will tweet this out as well, this game is on Friday night. In fact, nearly all the Championship games are on Friday night this week. So even though this is going out Thursday afternoon, you will need to put all your Nathbet bets on by Friday evening, guys. That means that our usual free bet, if you retweet the tips, the closing date will be 6 PM on Friday, so we have time to put that on for you. Our lucky winner last week, he decided to go £20 on the double. Unfortunately, that didn't come in, but if he'd put £20 on the treble, he would have been getting £180 tax-free straight to his account. That's it, guys. Just retweet the tips here. You'll be in the draw for a free £20 bet, and we will make sure that we put that on for you. You get your choice of the double, treble, and fourfold. What will it be this week, guys? If you want to put it on the double, it is 2.4-1. Okay, on with the treble. The big treble that landed for us last week was 9-1. This week is a little bit smaller, but not much. 7.9-1 treble. Both with Bet Victor, these guys, the double and the treble. Hull against Arsenal. This is going to be basically a pre-dress rehearsal of the FA Cup final, isn't it, after Hull beating Sheffield United, as you would expect, even though it was a little bit nerve-wracking at the time going into half-time, and obviously Arsenal as well, with Wigan giving them a difficult game. But I'm backing Arsenal to win this game, guys. I know that obviously Hull will have their strikers refreshed after them being cup-tied, but big game for Arsenal if they want to secure that fourth spot, especially with Everton letting that slip with that 3-2 loss. That 3-2 loss to, who was it again? Crystal Palace, of course it was. Sorry about that. So I do think that Arsenal will have too much. Just basically, I'm just matching them up for man. Hull City, yes, they're not 100% safe, but don't be too worried, Hull City fans. I think they'll be absolutely fine this season. And I think obviously with that FA Cup on the horizon, people will be very excited about that, and maybe a little bit too excited. Maybe there will be the party might have, still be going on in Hull. However, I don't think that'll be Arsenal. Like I say, they'll see this game as a huge step into gaining that fourth place in that Champions League place. And just man for man, really. You look at man for man in the side, and yes, Hull's a difficult place to go, but they are better 11 right the way through, from striker right the way through to the goalkeeper. So I'm going to back them, especially at 4-5. I'm going to back Arsenal to beat Hull on this occasion. Okay, Bournemouth against Sheffield Wednesday. Bournemouth 2 points away from the playoffs. So big game for them. And Sheffield Wednesday, they're safe now after an excellent run of form. And I do think that Bournemouth, especially with Wigan and Reading playing against each other, they're going to drop points, or someone's going to drop points, or they could both drop points. And they could quite easily be in that playoff spot come the end of the season, and obviously come 5 o'clock as well this weekend. So Bournemouth at 4-5, I think is a very good price there. They've won 4 out of their last 6 at home, and I do think that obviously Sheffield Wednesday, like I say, much improved, but I do think that if they're going to go and challenge and get in that playoff spot, then at 4-5 it's a good price, so we're going to take them. Now we're going to finish this up with a game which is two of the teams that, like I said earlier on, have gone on holiday, and they literally have gone on holiday. They are on Marbella Beach, Ibiza. I don't know where they are, but they are not playing football. I guarantee you that. Newcastle versus Swansea. Well, they have to play 90 minutes at St James's Park at the weekend, and Swansea have been desperate. Newcastle have been desperate. So do I go for a draw? No, I don't. I go for a Newcastle home win at 17-10. Big price. Pressure's on Pardew, actually. Gary Monk, you don't know whether he's going to be there at the end of the season either, but I think he was more of an interim manager, really. Never really thought that he was going to be appointed on a full-time basis after replacing Laudrup. But Pardew, like I say, on the other hand, he's got the crowd on his back. Now this is a bigger game for him than it is for Swansea, and Swansea just drifting. Michu's dropped to the bench as well. He's not found his form. Yes, Bonnie's up front's always a threat, but I do think Newcastle, they have got Tim Krul back. They welcome Debussy back. They welcome Remy back, and like I say, this will be a game that Alan Pardew will need to win, really. Otherwise, he could be looking at different alternative employment come the end of the season. So 17-10 at home is a massive price for me. Arsenal 4-5, Bournemouth 4-5, Newcastle 17-10, 7.9 to 1 treble, guys. Get on board. Very nice this week. I do like that treble indeed. So double in, treble in, fourfold. We're taking the Premier League. Aston Villa against Southampton. Now, Southampton have had a couple of bad results, especially last weekend. No one saw them losing 1-0 at home to Cardiff. I certainly didn't. And obviously they've lost Jay Rodriguez with that horrific injury and World Cup dream over, etc. We all know that. And they also lost to Manchester City. But, okay, Sunderland got a result there. But, it's no disgrace losing to Manchester City these days. Aston Villa sacked they've put them on gardening leave, whatever you want to call it, their assistant manager and their first team coach, and it's just things aren't right there. And I do think they'll be okay come the end of the season, not by much, but I think they will be okay, and this will be a big game. They'll be fired up for it. But like I say, Southampton are a team that can go there. They've got quality. I still expect your Lallana's and your Lamberts, Shaws, who've got that the World Cup dream, that to be playing to their best potential. I know Pochettino will demand that from him, and I did think about it when they saw Rodriguez and think, well, let's hang back a bit, in these tackles, and do we try as much? But if you do that, then you end up getting injured anyway. I don't think they're the type of players who do that. They're 100% effort, really, and that's why I think they'll all be going on the plane to Brazil. And I just think that they're going to compound Aston Villa's misery. Aston Villa minus Christian Benteke, as we said last week. He's out for the season with an Achilles injury, and they're pretty toothless at the moment. Big problems about Aston Villa. So 5-4 about Southampton. To beat Aston Villa is the price. We're going to take them. Second of the fourfold, guys, we're going to go with Burnley to beat Blackpool. Burnley away from home. big game for Blackpool, actually, only 2 points away from getting out of relegation trouble. But Burnley could be promoted this weekend as well. They obviously they could have been promoted last weekend, but they lost to Middlesbrough. But they might want to get promoted ahead of the home crowd, but they just want to get it done and dusted. I promise you that. So they can have a party back at home, and they could do that. Quality 21-20, I think, and they'll go to Blackpool. I think they'll win that game. So that is the second bet in our fourfold. Third bet, and I mentioned this earlier on, Wigan versus Reading. Massive game, 5th v 6th playoff spots, and both teams could be in the playoffs, they could be out of the playoffs. It's very, very difficult, very high pressure game. Wigan gave Arsenal a fantastic run for their money, didn't they, in the FA Cup last weekend? They are the form side, and I do not want to be the team that plays them in the playoffs. I think they will be the team that end up going up into the Premier League under Uwe Rosler, and I think that they will have too much of Reading on this occasion. I expect the home form to play a massive role, and 19-20 about Wigan, who won 5 out of their last 6 at home. I think are too good at 19-20, just under evens to avoid. So 19-20 is the price. Wigan to beat Reading. And the last one, interesting bet really. Leicester against Queen's Park Rangers. Queen's Park Rangers on fire, but they have secured that playoff spot, and I'm not sure whether Redknapp will now play it safe and rest his players for more important games ahead, or they'll keep on going. Leicester City obviously already promoted. Looks like they're going to be crowned champions as well, which they could be in this game. So Burnley could go up, Leicester could be crowned champions, and I think that Leicester, that incentive, and Nigel Pearson demands the uttermost respect and effort from his players, and I don't think they'll be one of the teams that will just chill out and relax and coast till the end of the season. He looked very disappointed, didn't he, when they drew 1-1 in midweek, and I do think that they will show Queen's Park Rangers who's boss, and I think they'll be absolutely fine in the Premier League next season as well. So we're going to back Leicester to beat Queen's Park Rangers 19-20. So Southampton to win away at Aston Villa, Burnley to win at Blackpool, Wigan to beat Reading, and Leicester to beat Queen's Park Rangers. Gives us a 17-1 fourfold, guys. That's the best price with Ladbrokes. That's why I'm wearing this red top. We've got the long shot as well. Remember, retweet those bets, retweet our tips, get into that draw, and we will let you know by 6 p.m. on Friday who the lucky person is. If you do not reply within the first 15 minutes of the retweet, we will move on to the next person, the next lucky winner. So get those retweets in, and follow Nathbet for more profits. 4 weeks to go. Take care, boys. Have a great one, and I'll see you next time from New York. Bye-bye.